Amazon FBA bookkeeping can be a mess. Your sales are in one report, your fees are in another, your reimbursements are somewhere completely hidden, and if you're selling across multiple markets, well, you've now got currency conversion to add to that. And this normally leaves you in one or two boats. One, you're spending absolutely ages finding all the finances to be able to complete records, or two, you're just not bothering with that and now it's all going to be incomplete and inaccurate, and both cost a lot of money. And even, let's say you go and hire an accountant, well, they're going to ask for a dozen different reports, of which are very hard to go and find. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to get your Amazon bookkeeping sorted, so that by the end of the video, you have a clear system on how to do it yourself, or you'll be able to hand it to someone who understands how Amazon works. So the first thing and the foundations of sorting out your bookkeeping is cost of goods. If you get your cost of goods wrong, you're probably going to get absolutely everything wrong. So what is cost of goods? Cost of goods is how much does it cost to get that product from the suppliers to yourself. But you might say, well, I already go and write down in my spreadsheet how much stuff costs. I'm on top of my cost of goods. Well, the main problem a lot of people come across is that the different batches of which they've ordered the goods are actually coming in at different prices. This could be because maybe the product's gone up in price, or maybe a discount code has expired. So that, yes, maybe both times those products are still profitable, but one is going to be more profitable than the other, which means you're either using a combined price or you're using the pre-existing price for the new batch. Well, then your cost of goods and your overall reports are going to be wrong. So to sort out your bookkeeping properly, we are going to be using the tool SellerToolKit. So what does this tool do? It basically gathers all your data from your Amazon account and puts it all in one place. And instead of having to juggle dozens of reports, it has everything on one clear dashboard. So that is what we're going to be using to show every part of your bookkeeping in today's video. So SellerToolKit uses a first in, first out policy on a batch level. So what does this mean? Well, let's say you go and buy 100 units at $5, and then there's an even better deal and you go and buy another 100 units at, let's say, $4. Well, what it's going to do is it's going to gather the first 100 sales are going to be associated to that $5, whereas the second 100 sales are going to be associated to that $4. And the thing is, even if you were to go and do this manually, well, sometimes you go and get returns, sometimes you go and get damaged goods, sometimes you go and get yourself reimbursements. So there are units basically all over the shop, so it can be an absolute nightmare to keep on top of it. Well, SellerToolKit associates every single unit, meaning it understands which unit sold and how much that cost of good was for that specific transaction. So how do we go and add cost of goods onto SellerToolKit? It is super simple. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and start off at the normal dashboard. And what we're going to do is, believe it or not, go down to the cost of goods. Now we're going to go and click on this. Now there are multiple ways of inputting your cost of goods here. First one I'm going to talk about is how to do it manually. Now there's two ways going around doing this. First, you can go all. Basically what this is going to do is it's going to go and give you a list of all your cost of goods, but it's going to go and separate it in per shipment. So for example, let's say this set right here was £36 cost of goods, but this one was 37. Then what I can do is just go edit and then go and put in the units of 37. And on top of that, you can also go and exclude VAT. You can also go and include delivery fees, prep fees, or you can just go and put it in the unit if you want it all added to, or all in one sort of total. And if you've maybe, let's say, got overwhelmed by your cost of goods, what you can actually go to is you can go to the missing, and this will actually go and show you all the cost of goods you're yet to put in. Maybe you skipped one a week ago and you didn't realize. It's always worth checking this out to be able to basically just double check. But instead of manually, if you, let's say, have loads of cost of goods, or you have a CVS sheet, what you can go and do is you can go and upload your cost of goods with a CVS sheet. Basically, you can go and download a spreadsheet and go and input the ASINs and the cost of goods and so on right there. So the vast majority of Amazon sellers will go and find themselves using software like SellerAmp, and actually SellerAmp's data is put into SellerToolKit, meaning you don't actually have to go and double enter your cost of goods. You put it in one place and it covers for both. And every time that you go and update your cost of goods, it will go and update all of these tables and your profit and loss instantly. It'll go and update all the affected orders. That means stuff could have sold weeks ago. You put your cost of goods in and it goes and updates. Also, that goes and affects your reimbursements, and they go and affects your returns as well. So the next part of bookkeeping we're going to be talking about is going to be the finance activity. So again, we're going to be on our normal dashboard, and you're going to go down to this sidebar of finance activity. Now, what is finance activity? This is going to be all your fees and all your sort of costs from Amazon in one place. So once here, you can then go and set your parameters to whatever you want. Maybe you want to go and set it to 30 days. Maybe you want to go and set it for a tax year. Maybe you want to go and set it to a year. And what that'll do is it'll give you total totals at the top of all the different sort of costs, for example, shipment costs, advertising costs, postage costs. And in addition, it'll also go and show you every single transaction down here. So again, maybe if you want to go and see a month, you'll be able to see at what date, what the category of the fee is, and yeah. And below you'll be able to go and see the date, the fee, and the SKU, ASIN, and title of the product. So for example, if I wanted to go and see all the fees I've had associated with one product or maybe one brand, well, then I can go and put the ASINs or the title of the brand up there. And if you're not already trying out SellerToolKit, you can get a free trial in the top link of the description. You don't have to go and add your card, and it will connect to your Amazon account within minutes. And you'll be able to go and use these features right here. So talk briefly at the beginning about how these top 9 KPIs can be seen. And again, it can give you a total for either one SKU, maybe a brand, maybe a sort of time date. But what you can also do is you can also go and click onto any of these individually, and it'll go and show you all of those charges. So let's go for postage. And if we click on there, you can now see all the postage and the order those are associated to. So if you look at the top right, we can also go and see that there is a summary and a detailed. So the summary is very useful for working out monthly reconciliations. But if we go into detail, this is really good for finding specific details on specific transactions. Again, less of a total and more of a individual sort of purpose. And hey, we were talking earlier about if you go and sell on multiple platforms, it also will go and give you what the active fee is and what that fee is in your local currency. So for example, we've got €3, and obviously that gets translated there into 3p. Previously, reconciliation meant that you had to go through CVS files and pivot tables, but now you can go and do it in just 3 clicks. So now we're going to move on to the SellerToolKit reports. This is basically going to give you a nice totaled summary report to either go and use yourself. So for example, I use these to go and do my VAT really easily, or you can go and give these reports to your accountant for all the information being in one place. Here you can get a full profit and loss report for the last month, you can get it for the last quarter, you can get it for the last year or last financial year. And it's broken down by the orders, by the ASINs, and by the marketplaces. What it does is it grabs your sales, your fees, and all the charges in real time. So for example, if I wanted to go and do this, I would go to monthly sales, and again, I can get the monthly sales with loads of different information. But I'm going to go monthly sales by ASIN, so that basically means if I go and sell 40 of one product, it's not going to show me 40 individual transactions. It's going to show me the one product, the 40 sales, the cost of goods of those 40 products, and the profit I've going to make from those 40 products. And to do that, we're going to go and click on monthly sales by ASIN, and then of course I can go and pick a date. I'll just go for whatever we'll go back a month, and we'll go to, then again we can go and select the market. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go and press on request report. And from there, you can either go and view it on the website, or you can go and download it to load it up in some spreadsheets, which is what I do, for example. And it is VAT aware for the UK and EU sellers. All you have to do is enter your cost of goods either with or without VAT, and SellerToolKit will do the rest. And if you want professional accounting advice, SellerToolKit is partnered with RT Accounting. RT is run by e-commerce sellers, so they understand your needs. And if you mention SellerToolKit, you will receive 5% off. An unparalleled service where you can ask any question at any time. And if you'd rather have a specialist handling your Amazon accounts, then make sure to head over to RT Accounting and make sure to mention SellerToolKit to get 5% off. The link is also in the description. So again, make sure to click on the link below to get yourself started. And for further help with your Amazon business, make sure to go and check out this video right here.